In 2014, the geniuses at Hasbro thought of a new way to take our money by re-releasing their products but make them larger. They called this the Black Series. If you didn't know, the Star Wars action figures have always been 3.75 inches. But for the past 8 years, there has been a substantial interest in 6-inch figures. So that's why we have Star Wars Black Series. This line is pretty great, featuring some iconic characters. But in 2022, there has been a large decline, both in terms of quality and decision making. Hi, I'm Brixton Kyber, and join me as I discuss why Hasbro really fell down this year. First of all, we have the release schedule. Now, the release schedule has been all over the place due to many delays of waves that were supposed to be, for example, there was a wave that was supposed to be released in January, but this year it got pushed to March of next year. But then it just randomly released in stores in April. What the fuck, Hasbro? And then the Kenobi figures were supposed to release in October, but they're available right now on Amazon and other retailers. Oh, and Cad Bane, the best one of them all. Supposed to be released in December, but now he's shipping out. I don't know if this is due to COVID, but I don't think so, as last year's schedule was pretty great, and this year is, messed up. Moving on, overpriced stuff. So let's start with the biggest offenders. The Boba Fett's, all being $30. If you didn't know, last year we got an amazing Boba Fett figure. That was a deluxe. And a deluxe price means you have to pay $10 more for a figure. But that was really worth it, as that Boba Fett came with some great accessories. For example, the flame pieces, a grappling hook, and a broken blaster, which made him feel worth like a more deluxe figure. And he was an all-new sculpt, which is also very important. But this year, for all the Boba Fetts, and Cobb Vanth too, as he wears Boba Fett's armor, are $30. But there's no accessories. And you can't blame inflation for this, as this year we got also Wrecker, who is a brand new mold, and is worth that deluxe price as he's a bigger figure. So it's clearly Boba Fett's that are now overpriced just because it's Boba Fett. And make no mistake, there is no new molds with them. They're all reused, except Cobb Vanth's head, which is new. Rest is all reuse. But while Boba Fett is pretty bad, the worst offender here is this sucker revealed at Celebration. Grogu already was overpriced at a tenner back in 2020, now he's 20, and what do you get more? Well, only a plastic cart. Even Omega is kind of overpriced. Yeah, she has an animal with her, but I'm not sure it makes her worth as much as Tech or Hunter or someone. Just horrible prices in general. But at least most of the $20 figures are pretty great, except if they're all reuses. And lastly, let's talk about the horrible decisions that Hasbro just made. Because I believe that Hasbro just hates money. I mean, they have to. Reusing the Chewie for Black Chrysanthemum, making a fucking lightsaber as the Hasblab. Oh yeah, let's talk about it for a bit. They made a replica Inquisitor saber for $500 that doesn't even spin and only comes with a stand. What a waste of a Hasblab! If you didn't know, Haslabs are supposed to be projects that are funded by the fans. You need at least 10,000 people, and then they make a project that they wouldn't just release regularly in the stores. For example, the Vintage Collection got Razor Crest, Jabba Sail Barge. What did the Black Series get? They got a fucking Rancor, which was abysmal and pathetic because there were so many fuck-ups with that project. And then this year, they got the Inquisitor Saber. I mean, are they just planning to make Black Series die this year? Because this isn't the worst decision-making. Oh, not by a far. Because you see, Hasbro also just loves Luke Skywalker. Because who cares about getting new figures? No, we need another Luke Skywalker. So that's why we are getting the brand new Mandalorian Luke Skywalker, who is the same, almost the same as the Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker, which we know we will be getting next year, as it's the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. But this isn't the worst. This really isn't the worst. Because guess what? Every single wave, half of the wave is only Mandalorian figures. Look at the newest wave over here. It's all Mandalorian stuff. There's, one prequel figure? There isn't even OT stuff. And God forbid there's sequel figures, as those sold horribly. But whose fault is that? I think it's Hasbro's, because they fucking overproduced it, maybe? And that's why we didn't get any Rise of the Skywalker figures after 2019, even though we still haven't gotten the villain of that movie, which is Palpatine. What prequel figures got announced recently? We got Kiari-Mundi and Isla Sakura. Great! What about Chancellor Palpatine, the main villain of Revenge of the Sith? Why are we getting some random Jedi? Now I know I will get hated for this, but I mean, it's cool to get Jedis, but shouldn't we get the main characters first, because before some obscure stuff? And let's talk about more obscure stuff, because Hasbro and their love for Mandalorian, they have made such I mean, not bad, but just such useless figures recently. They've literally made 2 droids. This Republic droid that appeared for like 5 seconds in the show, and this droid from the Ahsoka episode, which appeared for total of 3 seconds in the show. They've made those real figures for $20 instead of making like important characters that we are missing, for example, like Rise of the Skywalker Finn, Rise of the Skywalker Poe, so we at least get the main characters of the Rise of the Skywalker done. I despise that movie, but I still want those characters as they're the protagonists of that movie, and they deserve an action figure, not this droid from the Mandalorian, or just Chancellor Palpatine, or Palpatine from the Rise of Skywalker. I mean, we need those figures, they're important, or just other figures, like for example, maybe a Rebels Rex. But no, what do we get from the clones? We get a shit trooper. Literally, this is a shit trooper. He looks like shit. I mean, he has fucking shit markings all over him. I mean, Hasbro has been just abysmal this year with the releases. And what are we getting for the end of this year? I mean, we're getting another Bill Burr figure from Mando, those droids, and Luke Skywalker and Grogu. This is our wave. This is our wave, just Mandalorian figures. And we get some Halloween figures, which, yeah, judging by how the Christmas figures sold super well, I bet those Halloween figures will sell amazing with literally a furry. They made a figure of a furry. I mean, this looks like a furry. Black Sun, and we could have gotten some really nice figures this year. At least the Kenobi figures are good. But yeah, I guess we are never getting any more sequel stuff. Because Hasbro fucking overproduced everything for The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And prequels, I mean, we got many good prequel figures last year, but this year was just... At least Clone Wars got some stuff. I mean, some stuff. By that I mean a 212 clone and the Shit Trooper, which I have no idea if it even will release this year. I mean, the Bad Batch is at least getting good figures, so yeah, but most of those were last year, except Echo, who was supposed to release next year, but now he's here. This year was quite horrible, I must say. I mean, barely any new figures, and if they were so undesirable. And the release schedule is all over the place. I mean, there are figures out in the stores that haven't even been announced yet. Like, for example, the Andor Scarif Trooper. That is out in stores, and it has never been announced before. Yeah, I guess that concludes my little rant about Hasbro and their brilliant decision making this year. I just hope that next year will be the same as 2021. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little rant. And yeah, cheers to Hasbro maybe being better next year, hopefully. I mean, next year, what are we getting? Hopefully some Andor figures. I mean, Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary. Let's hope that goes well. I mean, we know for now that we're getting another Boba Fett, probably the release of the deluxe last year, so great, a re-release. I can't wait to see them, like, strip him of all the accessories that made him more of that price and just release the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett for $30. I mean, if they do that, I will just die of laughter. That will be hilarious. Oh, and we're getting also a Rebel Trooper that's for $30, and we're getting another Agbar, even though we got an Agbar last December, I think. Yeah, so that's it for the little rant, and yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.